Welcome to episode 208 of Clarity Compressed. My name is Paul J. Daly. I'll be your host. 208, you know what that is? 52 divided by 4, which means it's 4 years. And to celebrate that, I decided to go outside and play in the snow.
Let the good times roll.
This is Clarity Compressed.
So if you're just listening to the podcast and you're not watching it, I'm standing outside right now in the snow. I'm in Syracuse, New York. It's 15 degrees outside. It snowed about 8 inches last night. And I drove into the office today. I didn't have to. I didn't have anything I had to do in here. But I drove into the office. I never know who's coming in, but I'm the only one here. I shoveled this driveway off. And you know why? Because it's what I do. And if you've ever shoveled off a big area, right, where there's a good bit of snow, you start and it's that cadence of move it. Move it. And when you're in the middle, you're like, this is never going to get done. And it starts to feel like that. But then as you make progress, you're getting toward the end, your body's starting to hurt a little bit more, you're sweating. And then you look around and you're like, hey, I just cleared this whole area and it feels good. It's a lot like it's been in the last 4 years with this podcast. 208 weeks without missing a single week. It felt a lot like shoveling sometimes. I didn't want to do it sometimes. I didn't want to set up the gear sometimes. But you know what? I can track back so many good things in my life, in my career, in my relationships because of showing up and doing this little shoveling of recording a podcast every single week. Because it's the mundane things in our lives that actually lead to the great things. Will Smith recently was talking about, I'm not trying to build a whole wall in the day. I'm just focused on laying one good brick. And the podcast has been one good brick every week. Shoveling has been one good brick today. And you know why I showed up? You know why I came into the office? You know why I didn't even check the weather and I came in? Because it's just what I do. You know why I shoveled and didn't hire another company to do it today and just decided to take care of it and not leave it for somebody else? Because it's just what I do. My first business, Image Auto, there was never a question of are we going to go out? Day in and day out, no matter what the weather was, we got in the trucks and we drove, sometimes for hours, to show up at our clients, which were then auto dealer clients, and help them dig out of the snow, even when they couldn't pay us any money. You know why? Because it's just what I do. And I know everybody has those things in their lives. It may have nothing to do with going out in bad weather. It might have nothing to do with shoveling. But what are those things that you want to be known for, that it's just what you do? Because I believe that doing things over time consistently are the real reason that people succeed. It's the real reason that people rise up above other people, right? This is a competitive world. If you want to do good and succeed, it is a free marketplace. Other people are going to try to take what is yours. And I'm not even talking about in a violent way. I mean, that could be the case. But I'm just talking about provision and hustle, right? Just by nature of scarcity. If you have it, right, I need to get my own. And there's plenty to go around. But guess what? It's not guaranteed. Guess what? If you want to do great things, you have to do things that other people aren't willing to do. I'm not trying to make this a motivational speech. I'm just speaking what's on my mind right now. And after 207 episodes, this is 208, I realize that most of doing this podcast is actually just for me. I mean, I can say I want to do it for you, but that'd be inauthentic. I'm doing it because it's important to me. It's important to me to work out my own thoughts. It's important to me to encourage other people around me. Yes, I want you to be encouraged, but why? Because that encourages me too, right? Like people say, like, why do you give your dog a bone, right? Do you give it because the dog is happy? It's like, no, because making the dog happy makes you happy. So consider today, what are the things that you want to be known for because it's just what you do? Is it encouraging people? Is it starting businesses? Is it spending time with your family? Is it coaching Little League? Is it being there for friends? Is it donating your time and money? Is it your work ethic? What is it? What do you want to be known for? What is it that you do? What is it that you want to do consistently or can do consistently over time? Look at your life. Are there things in your life that you've seen benefit from doing consistently that you've dropped off? Get back on the horse. Lay another good brick today. My hand right now is freezing. I can't even feel it. But guess what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. You know why? Because this freezing hand that I can barely bend, that's red. I don't even know if you can see it. It's getting pretty red. You know what it reminds me of? I hear Jocko in my mind saying, good. Now I have the opportunity to be reminded that doing this podcast, that taking these actions, that showing up this morning and shoveling and being in the cold is worth it. That it's more meaningful than the hand I can no longer feel. The hand will be fine. We'll get over it. So I didn't expect that this is how I was going to spend the 4-year anniversary of the podcast, but I can't think of a better way to spend the 4-year anniversary of this podcast, but standing out in the snow, freezing my butt off, having shoveled by myself at the office, reminding myself that this is just what I do. I want to be the kind of team member that I want to have my back. And I'm not literally talking about somebody that came into work on a snowy day, but somebody that's willing to show up, that's willing to have my back, that's willing to do what it is, do what it takes every single day to get the job done. That can mean a whole lot of things in a whole bunch of different ways. But today I'm reminded of that. I hope I can be the person that I would want on my side. I hope I can be that person for you. I hope I can be that person for my family. I hope I can be that person for my team here at Congruent and Automotive State of the Union, and to my business partner, Kyle. I hope that I can be that person. And part of being that person is recording this podcast, reminding myself that this is just what I do. Thank you so much for being here for as many of the 208 episodes as you've been here, and we'll see how far we can take it. Till next time, pursue that clarity and do the things that you do.
We